As Europe's tallest active volcano roars back to life.
This neighboring volcano has 10 times the power of this little volcano that's paralyzing all of Europe right now.
Europe is not known for destructive volcanic eruptions, but that might change soon. There are potentially destructive and deadly superactive volcanoes spotted in the region. Recent discoveries have shown that Campi Flegrei is likely on the verge of erupting once again. And this time, the eruption would be more fierce. This has made researchers ponder on how catastrophic the impact of this supervolcano's eruption will be. If this volcano erupts, what would be its possible impact on the safe environs? Join us as we explore the recurring supereruption discovered near Italy that could blow again. Campi Flegrei is awake. Scientists from Ohio State University in the US and the Institute of Marine Sciences in Spain found proof of huge volcanic eruptions over about 50,000 years. They discovered these eruptions in 4 big layers of underwater dirt called megabeds in the western Marsili Basin near Italy. This finding suggests there might be another massive volcanic eruption in the future. The researchers located these megabeds using acoustic sampling surveys. Afterwards, they collected core samples from the ocean floor to study them more closely. Even though the area is known for having lots of volcanic activity, scientists think these specific deposits were left behind by a massive eruption called the Campanian Ignimbrite supereruption, which happened to the north. This supereruption had a big impact on the Earth's climate and ecosystems. The researchers found 3 of the big beds in the sea have layers of sand and mud, and the 4th one shows signs of a very dense flow of debris from a volcano, which happens in a super big eruption. Finding these big beds helps scientists learn about what happened after major volcano events and also helps predict what might happen in the future. The big eruptions, which have a lot of material, quickly affect the environment. Lately, experts have grown increasingly worried that the once dormant volcanoes in this region, including the big underwater volcano called Campi Flegrei, situated approximately 175 kilometers south of Naples, might be reactivating, as indicated by underground magma readings. Based on research analysis of megabeds, the researchers estimate their formation occurs roughly every 10,000 to 15,000 years. However, not all volcanic events result in the creation of megabeds. An example from 2002 is the eruption of the Mediterranean volcano Stromboli, which generated a tsunami and formed a layer of material only about 10 centimeters thick. The factors leading to the creation of megabeds, which can be several meters thick, still need to be clarified. Despite Campi Flegrei being mostly submerged in the Mediterranean, a potential eruption poses significant risks from tsunamis and ecological consequences. The importance of preparedness is emphasized. Would Campi Flegrei erupt? Scientists, led by Christopher Kilburn, found that the Earth's crust in the Campi Flegrei area has changed. The crust lost its strength and elasticity, making it hard to predict when an eruption might happen. The crust used to handle magma movements, but now it might erupt without warning. What changes occurred in the crust under Campi in the last 40 years? Since the 1950s, magma has steadily risen like a bulldozer, sometimes breaking through weak rock zones. From the 1950s to the 1980s, it lifted the ground and stabilized. In the 1980s, the magma pressure beneath the Earth's surface was high, causing it to intrude 7 to 2.5 kilometers deep. In Pizzoli, thousands of earthquakes led to evacuations as people were worried. The intense pressure eventually caused a major rupture, creating panic among the residents. After that, things seemed calm, but significant and unnoticed changes were taking place beneath the surface. Gases from deep within the Earth made the rocks weaker. These gases opened the way for magma, weakening the crust, similar to how an icebreaker clears a path. Since 1984, the degradation of the crust in the Campi Flegrei area has been getting worse. The magma is getting closer to the surface, as indicated by earthquake swarms happening at shallower depths. A powerful earthquake swarm in August suggests that an eruption might be triggered by the magma very soon. The crust in this area is like glass with tiny cracks. The big question is, how long can it hold back the rising magma? All of this points to the fact that magma is approaching the surface, causing the ground to rise and more earthquakes. The weakened crust might not be able to resist the intrusion of magma. Without some preventive actions, an eruption will likely happen soon. People wonder if it will be a small lava flow, like in 1538. Some think it might release steam, but the facts suggest a different scenario. History of the eruptions in Campi Flegrei. Campi Flegrei and its nearby islands make up a big volcanic area. Instead of having regular volcano shapes, it has a huge bowl called a caldera with 24 craters. Some of these craters are under the sea. The caldera's size is estimated to be between 100 to 200 square kilometers, even larger than the city of Naples. That's why Campi Flegrei is called a supervolcano. This supervolcano has been around for 80,000 years and has only had two big eruptions, about 36,000 and 12,000 years ago. Both times, these eruptions caused big problems for Europe. Now, there are signs that it might erupt again. This has made scientists curious about why it could happen and what it might mean for our civilization. In the last 50 years, scientists have noticed the ground moving up and down near the volcano because of earthquakes. In 2012, the Italian government raised the volcano's threat level from green to yellow. Even though people living near the volcano are used to it, recent events have made them more worried and afraid. The idea of Brediseism is a big part of Italian life, showing how the ground goes up because a volcano is waking up. People in the area watch for this to see what the volcano is doing, especially around the port of Pozzuoli. In the 1980s, there was a lot of ground movement from August 1982 to December 1984. This caused hundreds of tremors under the ground, damaging 8,000 buildings in the city center. It was so bad that 36,000 people had to leave their homes, and many never returned. The Brady seismic activity even increased the seabed by almost 2 meters, making the water too shallow for big ships in Pozzuoli Bay. One night, the area lifted at least 1 meter, affecting a whole dock with all the boats on it. As a fisherman, I could see all the boats were on dry land because no water was left. The dock went up and then settled back into the sand. Starting in 2004, the ground started rising again from Bradiseism. By February 2023, it had increased by nearly 10 centimeters, with 1,000 small earthquakes. Since 2000, gases, mostly CO2, have been coming out, showing that new magma from deep in the earth is heating the volcano's chamber. In 2004, the gas pressure started lifting the ground, and hot magma reached the surface, making the hydrothermal waters boil in 2005. In 2006, earthquakes started being felt on the surface, and the number of earthquakes increased a lot, with all these things happening simultaneously. Unlike the shaking in 1980, the recent shakings are more about steam, not actual earthquakes. In 1970 and 83, big earthquakes were above level 6 on the Richter scale. But now, it seems like the shaking is connected to steam, making things uncertain. People living there and scientists are thinking about what happened in the 1980s and how it's similar to what's happening now. They expect stronger earthquakes and the ground going up before a volcano erupts. However, there's good proof that things have changed, and what happened before might not be what happens now. The ground under Campi Flegrei in the past 40 years shows that magma from deep inside the earth has been going up since the 1950s. It kept rising, pushing into the ground and staying at certain levels. In the 1980s, there was a lot of magma pressure, causing powerful movements underground from 7 to 2.5 kilometers deep. This caused big earthquakes. People had to leave their homes, and it was tough for the residents. During the 1980s, the strong pressure from magma and gases was more than the ground could handle, leading to a big rupture. The escaping gases stopped the ground from going up and caused a bit of sinking, a natural gas release from the volcano's chamber. It postponed a huge eruption, but it didn't solve the problem. In the years after, there were hardly any earthquakes around the volcano, making people feel safe and returning to normal life, forgetting the scary times in the 1980s. But that calm time was tricky because things were changing underground, even if people couldn't see it. Gases deep inside the earth were strong and affected rocks, weakening them. This allowed magma to move like an icebreaker, breaking through ice. Even though everything looks calm on the surface, the part of the Earth's crust above the magma chamber hasn't been able to handle the pressure from the magma since 1984. This is making the crust weaker in the Campi Flegrei area. The volcano shows signs of getting ready to erupt, with magma approaching the surface. Lots of earthquakes happen, especially near the volcano. In August, a big group of earthquakes went from 4 kilometers to 200 meters deep. This suggests that there might be a volcanic eruption soon, because the magma is getting very close to the surface. The ground above the magma chamber is like glass with tiny cracks, making people worried. From what we know about Campi Flegrei's current activity, the magma is slowly moving up, causing more earthquakes and the ground to go up. The weakened ground might be unable to stop the magma, suggesting an eruption might happen in the next few years. People think it could be a small lava flow like in 1538 or steam, but the signs show it might be a bigger eruption. Looking at the past, the eruption in 1538 is like a warning sign. It happened twice before the big eruptions of the Campi Flegrei volcano. The 5th eruption in 1538 was like a signal before the volcano caused a huge disaster, wiping out European life. This kind of disaster can happen suddenly, and in the past, it has been one of the most destructive events in European history over the last 200,000 years. During these eruptions, ash and lava shot up high into the sky, covering a large area. Ash even reached 1,000 kilometers away in Romania. The aftermath caused the temperature to drop in Europe, leading to the extinction of Neanderthals and forcing survivors to leave. It seems like these mega eruptions happen approximately every 12,000 years. Campi Flegrei's big eruptions, around 36,000 years ago and 12,000 years ago, fit into this cycle. Scientists think something outside our planet, like cosmic influences, might activate the Earth's core, making deep-seated magma rise. The deep-seated magma that caused big eruptions in the past is similar to what's happening now. A big question is how earthquakes worldwide might affect Campi Flegrei. Powerful earthquakes can make magma go up. The increase in the number, depth, and strength of these earthquakes shows that there's a lot of energy inside the Earth. This energy can trigger spontaneous eruptions in supervolcanoes like Campi Flegrei. This pattern is seen in other supervolcanoes like Yellowstone, Era, and Campi Flegrei. Also, other volcanoes like Taupo, Loki, and Topoprezi are getting more active. This is not just a problem for Italy, but could be a disaster for humanity. So we must be careful and watch these events closely to understand and maybe prevent the risks involved. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do well to like and subscribe. While you are still here, click the video on your screen to see more intriguing videos like this one.